Alex Hormozy put out a video recently where he was talking about how he met a woman who had less than 5,000 followers and they made over $1 million in a year. And I saw in the comments that a lot of people were calling bullshit on that and saying that it's not true. But I want to explain how it actually is possible and exactly how you can do that. Because just because you have 5,000 followers doesn't mean you can monetize $1 million in a year. So I'm going to explain the exact steps you have to do in order to do that. And I'm not just talking from a place of ignorance, like I'm just, talking out of my ass. I've literally done this for myself with a small audience, as you can see on my YouTube. I have over 100,000 followers combined across socials. I have an agency that runs organic content marketing for personal brands, entrepreneurs, and we literally do this every day. We run content, even for small creators, and we help them monetize their audience pretty much no matter how big it is, big or small it is. And I'm doing this through the lens of a client that we had. They had 10,000 followers on Instagram, thereabouts, 10,000. And they were able to, in the first month of launching the product that we had strategized for them, they made $80,000. 3 months after that, in a row, every month for 3 months, they made roughly the same amount of money, anywhere between $65,000 to $85,000 each of those months, running the same strategy to essentially their 10,000 followers on Instagram. And there was 4 things that we did in order to do that. So the first thing is you need to make sure that you're selling to rich people, right? If you're selling something to unemployed people, they're not going to be able to afford your prices, right? They're not going to be able to buy anything. So, when you post like a skit or a funny video or something, you're reaching the mass market. You're reaching billions of people. And you don't want to do that because on average, the billions of people that are watching your video, they have no money, okay? So they can't really spend anything and you're not going to be able to make $1 million or 100K from a few thousand followers. So it's not going to work. You have to make sure that you're talking specifically to rich people in rich niches because they are what can afford your products. In our case, we were talking to doctors of a very specific kind of like sub niche of doctors in the USA that wanted to learn this particular new field of study. We don't have to get into the details. The second thing is you need to not just sell to rich people, but you need to sell rich people expensive things. Rich people love to buy expensive stuff. Look in every luxury store, they're spending 5, 10K on watches, on handbags, they're buying the most expensive cars, villas, apartments, you name it, they are spending the money on it. And so why would you ever, if you have a rich audience, why would you ever bother charging them low prices, right? You have to charge them high ticket prices. And by high ticket, I mean anything over $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 or more. In our case, our product was $6,000 that we were selling to doctors. And this allowed us, even though we had a small audience, this allowed us to sell significantly more dollar amounts because we needed less people to hit that 80K in a month mark with this audience. So if you have 5,000 people, you only need 5 to 10 people to actually buy from you in order to make really, really good money from such a small audience. The third thing is your content strategy has to be on point, right? The fastest way to get attention these days is using short form content. So this is the way we approach content. So we use short form content as the top of funnel. This is to get you the awareness, right? This is to get people to know about you, to see your offer, to see your face, to hear your voice, understand what topics you talk about, and basically understand that you're an expert that can be trusted, and essentially get them interested in learning more about what you do. And that's going to lead them down the path to actually finding out that they can buy stuff from you, right? So short form videos for small audiences, you might only get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 views. And that might be disheartening because you see a lot of people online with 100,000, 1 million, 10 million views on a video. But that's not the point here, right? The point is that you have 1,000 to 5,000 people in an extreme niche. If your content is talking about something that's super niche, super niche, all of the people watching, the algorithms are so good these days that the algo will literally show that video to the kind of person that you're talking to. So if you're talking to doctors that want to, learn this new field of study, you have 2,000 views on a video and a bunch of likes and a bunch of comments. If you look at those comments and likes, they're all going to be your target demographic. It doesn't matter what niche you're in, it's going to be the same logic, okay? So you want to attract your exact demographic with hyper niche content. But the most important thing is you don't just capture them with short form content, you want to nurture them with long form. So your link in bio should have a link to your podcast or your YouTube videos. And that's what this client did in particular. They had a podcast where they had 1 to 2 hour conversations with industry leading experts in that field of study. And those podcasts might only get a couple hundred views in total, but they're very high quality views. And every single person that ended up buying from us had said on the sales call that they had watched or listened to the podcast before they got on the call. They did their research. Of course, they're doctors, right? And rich people in general, you know, the more money you have, generally the higher IQ you have. And a trait of high IQ people is doing your research before you spend money, okay? So they want to dive into you. They want to see your links in bio. They want to watch your content. They want to understand that you are an expert and you can be trusted and you know what you're talking about, and they want to learn more from you, okay? That's the third thing I think I said. And the fourth thing is you want to do an Instagram launch story. So you have your audience, you have your eyeballs. Now, how do we actually convert them into sales? The absolute easiest way to convert somebody from a small audience, you do not need a funnel, you do not need a website, you do not need a VSL, you do not need any of that. All you need to do is post Instagram stories, okay? I follow a 3-slide approach. The first slide is an introduction to the problem or a story. So you have a photo on screen and you have some text that goes along, you know, maybe it's talking about the problem that that particular niche is facing, maybe it's talking about a problem that a client had, or maybe it's talking about a story from your life that maybe introduces a problem or kind of explains how you got into your particular thing that you're selling. The second slide is social proof. So problem, here's how we fixed it, or here's how my client fixed it, here's how I fixed it, or here's my life now. Whatever like the solution to the first slide is, put that on the second slide with some photos as a social proof mechanism. And then on the third slide, you have the direct CTA and the offer. So you can follow the standard formula, which is I'm looking for 3 people in the next 90 days to get this result. DM me the word or comment the word XYZ and I'll send you more information, or to apply, something along those lines. And that is the classic Instagram story flow. I call it a set, Instagram story set, that works fantastically well. Introduce story, problem, pain point, whatever it is. Talk about the solution to that. Give the offer to solve all of it, to have you, solve that pain for them, get them the result that they want, plus CTA. That's the third thing that you need to add. It's super important to have that. Now, if you can nail all these 4 things, even if you have a small audience of only 4,000, 5,000, or 10,000 followers, you will be able to make pretty good money as long as your niche is dialed in, as long as your offer is dialed in, as long as your content strategy is on point, as long as you're selling to rich people and you're selling expensive products and you have your promotional strategy correct, there's absolutely no reason that you can't be selling several of your followers on a high ticket package at least. If you have 5,000, it's not unreasonable at all to sell 5 people at 5K each per month and make 25, 30K. Not unreasonable at all. So hopefully that was valuable. If you want my help to do all this for you or just coach you along the way, just check out the link in the bio. There's no VSL or whatever. There's no opt-in. It's literally just a video of me pitching you on what I do. So if you're interested in actually working with me closely and me really making everything for you, for your content strategy to grow your coaching business, agency, your course creator business, whatever it may be, just check that link in bio and I'll help you get everything set up. So subscribe as well, leave comments. I'll see you in the next one.